to get it, I make it happen, then I pivot. Oh, you hit it, I did it. Everything I set my heart out to do, I win it. Word to the wise, the journey's an enterprise. Energize, you surprised, the drive, courage to rise. Look in my eyes, you ain't fitting to get in between my thighs. Customize, lyricism disintegrating these guys. Super galactic like Cool Keith, I do chief. Spew heat, too honest to cheat, rather pursue me. I'm with my goonies, read roomy, I do me. Truly a movie, the life I live, I do breathe. No caption necessary, all dopeness legendary. Layer up, I'm the coldest like New York in February. Number one, never secondary, no temporary. I'm in it for the long haul, it's hereditary. Yeah. Method to my madness. The latest LP. Yeah. And this is Goddess. Featuring Paz and Shorty No Mas. 4, 3, 2, 1. Show you otherwise. Back in the day, wouldn't hesitate to thumb a ride. 8-ball jacket with a pearl-handed gun inside. Then the days, right, a rare combination. I'm patient, sit and observe before I say shit. Ancient soul, put the paint on the road. Hit the joint, take a stroll, get to making them goals. Imagination is gold. Came up in the game, made them other players fold. Street talk ain't never getting old. No matter what and where, they watching my genetic code in poetic mode. These cats synthetic with they flow. My aesthetic authentic, prophetic and from the soul. The dynamite is lit and I'm betting it's gonna blow. Mind your own shit, your head about to explode.
Street talk, street talk, street talk. I know that street talk, street talk, street talk.
The motherfucking Pharaoh
street talk, street talk, street talk. I know that street talk, street talk, street talk.
Whoever's viewing it is getting to kind of be like a sneak. You know what I mean? Like, they're like sneaking in on our conversation kind of vibes.
Sneaky ass motherfuckers.
You can man that camera, por favor.
Man, that camera. Woman, that camera.
Yeah, woman. All right. We got the world famous touring artist, international flavor, multilingual. She's like, NEJMA NEFERTITI, welcome to the seasoning, baby. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, NEJMA NEFERTITI on the seasoning. My government, NEJMA's my first name, Nefertiti's one of my 2 middle names. I went by other names, but just decided at one point, wear that crown. Yeah, NEJMA means star in the feminine form in Arabic. Nefertiti was because of the Egyptian goddess. And I got my father, who's Iranian and Egyptian, my mother, First Nation, so they kind of collabed on that. I went by La Única for a minute. Yeah, this Puerto Rican brother I would rap with gave me that name, and I loved it. I went by that for a very long time. That, you know, I still have family that, you know, will call. They'll be like, "Yo, Única," and it's like, yeah, that was one of my joints right there. I was surrounded by hip hop at the time that I grew up. It was just everywhere, and my mother listened to all kind of music, so it was like a bit of a mixture of that. People were excited about it, so I would hear it, I would see it. At that time, people were practicing all the pillars. It wasn't just like MCs and shit, like people were breaking. It's like you had the DJ, everybody was showing the DJ respect. My mother's life was intertwined in hip hop and in the streets. I was in them streets too, and kind of just the way I grew up. It was all around me, but I didn't do it in a serious way until later. I just like was having fun with it, and I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. I always loved it. I seen Roxanne's Revenge, and then Rakim. I was like, yo, that's how I want to rap. My best moment was more recently when I was in the studio with RZA and Sway on the Saga Continues contest. It was really dope being there with Sway and RZA, like just being in that energy. Heather B was there, of course. The worst moment, a lot of the interviews I did back in the day, it's like they were just so condescending. I was like, why am I here? And just coming up, you feel like you gotta be there and do that interview, so you kind of feel stuck in that seat, but at the same time you feel disrespected. So there was several interviews like that that I would say is kind of, if I think about just the worst moments, you know what I mean? That's what comes to mind. When I first started doing my thing, it's like my blood was boiling because I didn't say this or that, or I should have said this, or I should have did that, and that shit really can eat you alive. I went through a lot of that. I went through a lot of rejections, a lot of failures as far as how I went about things or who I worked with. Lots of trial and error. Again, lots of failure, lots of rejection. For some reason, I just kept doing it. I think I was just compelled. I do what I'm compelled to do. When I did Time and I read Asada's book, On the Inside, her biography, that really kind of revolutionized my mind. It changed why I wanted to rhyme. It changed like the things I wanted to say and talk about. It kind of radicalized my mind a bit. And being on the inside, you see everything in concentration that's wrong with the world in a really small spot. I learned so much in there. And it definitely changed the kind of artist and MC I was. Before that, I had come from battling at first. Then that started getting violent. I was like, yo, I'm out of this. I released a mixtape over time. I was performing here and there, but it wasn't until I came home that like I really kind of thought of it more so like, yo, I need to do this in a serious way, like on some career level status, you know? Well, first of all, I'm never aging out and I'm gonna be Granny Thug Rap forever. Nah, I'm always gonna do creative things. I always said my legacy is how people felt in my presence, the spiritual connection that I share with people. How did I make that person feel? You know, did they feel like depleted or drained, or did they feel like, yo, I gave them some energy or you know, some life force? I want people to feel a life force when they encounter me. That's really my legacy, just on a human level. And I can't control that for everybody. I do my best to leave places better than I found it, leave people better than I found them. That's like my go-to as far as my legacy. That's my solid legacy, my desire. I might be like a lawyer or something, you know, advocating for people and especially children, human trafficking, stuff like that, doing justice in tech. I love making perfume. I actually do that, and you know, I love designing streetwear. I might do that, but if I was totally outside of what I was doing, bringing justice to people, because we live in such a system that's full of injustice. That's where a lot of my passion comes from and why I talk about like some of that in my music. Actually, Columbia University was giving people who were previously incarcerated free classes. So I was like, yo, I never got perks, you know, for being incarcerated, and I jumped on it. I have a coding community. I have kind of like a paralegal initiative situation. I have people in law in my circle now. Yeah, I got to meet a lot of people, speak to a lot of people I never would have if I wasn't doing that. I took the opportunity because I'm like, yo, it's free, and I was like, this is interesting. And again, when do you get perks for that? Yo, this is new, because they weren't doing that years ago. Like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on this. I went through a lot. I'm always saying, like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, even to this day, like, what am I gonna do with this? I try to put it in my music. I try to work with young people, advocate for incarcerated people, for all kinds of people. To me, it was a no-brainer, you know what I mean? Yeah, we have to have fun with this. Like, when you stop having fun, that's when you need to question, okay, why am I doing this again? What do I need to go back to kind of revisit that? Because it's like, yes, it's work, but, you know, we started because we loved it and because it was fun. Like, you know what I mean? And we made it into something that it is, you know? So it's like, it was nothing to something. So, because I kind of came from nothing. I came from poverty. I came from, you know, people around me that were just struggling with addiction and things like that. People telling me when I was a kid that I wasn't going to be nothing and all that kind of stuff. The nothing to something thing, that kept me going. And just my mother too, the fact that she struggled so much and she kept going no matter what, no matter how many times she failed, being that she was like one of my #1 fans too. It's like, I feel like, you know, like I'm bringing her spirit through me. So it's like, it's for my ancestors too, all the time. Yo, I know they looking like, yeah, you know? And it's like, nah, yo, I ain't going out like that. I'm Iranian, I'm defiant. For this year, I do have some travels coming internationally. I do a lot of that now, performing overseas or Canada. I'm always gonna be doing shows in my city. The main things that I'm focusing on really like for the rest of the year is like the sync licensing. I'm trying to write for that because we all know it can be lucrative for us artists to get placements and stuff. Creating projects from that too. I always have new collaborations, new projects coming out, new videos, new content. And where am I going next? What kind of new collabs and exciting collabs do I have coming and with who? I have things lined up, but I left it open for some surprises too. Making more money with what I do so I could sustain what I do, because people act like it's so taboo, but like that starving artist is, you know, bullshit. That I've been over that. Been stopped feeling bad about like, yo, I wanna get money doing my thing. It's like we put our soul out there, we work hard. It's like we need to eat and take care of ourselves, and that costs money. Working with students and youth all the time too, like on a quarterly basis. So just, you know, keeping things continuing and rising up and just, you know, having that space for new opportunity. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just go what came to my mind off the top when you said that. I would go with Ethiopian food. I love Ethiopian food so much. It's like, you know, you take the injera with your hand, you scoop it, and they have all the different things, you know, the veggie platter, because I'm plant-based. You know, they have the cabbage and carrots, the lentils, the high pureed lentil chickpea type thing, and the greens, and the flavor is just out of this world. Like, it's like, if you know Ethiopian seasonings, it's like there's nothing bland about it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you think about those market spices, I would just go with that, like, because I will never get tired of it.
What is one seasoning that you always keep in your cabinet no matter what?
I'll tell you right now.
Uh-oh.
Definitely cayenne on everything. And then we have now this is an Ethiopian seasoning right here, spicy and aromatic, you know what I mean? So yeah, I got a lot of seasonings though. This cabinet's full of it.
I see.
I don't play around with the flavor.
That's one of your secrets. Man.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
All right, so now you gotta get ordained. You
Oh
are
snap!
officially a seasoned artist.
Yes.
You get the collectible, one of a kind. That's your badge right there. So no matter where you
Wear
go,
it with
show
honor.
that you're getting in, okay?
Yes.
So,
definitely in you know, if I'm having a show, I love for people to show up. Like, that's in person, that's like real, that's, you know, that's the realness right there, the liveness. You wanted to see what I was up to, like, you know, check my Bandcamp out. Forget about, like, it's like, you know, the Spotifys and all that. Yeah, okay, you know, it's cool or whatever, we get played around the world, but we don't get nothing for that. Money that, you know, that somebody might spend there, most of it goes to us. And, you know, on the contrary, instead of other, like the other platforms, you know how they do. Come to a live show, cop some vinyl if you're down with that, you know what I mean? Cop some of my digital work, you know, I don't know, leave a comment on my video, like any kind of energy really is, I welcome that. People are intimidated by me, but you could come up to me at a show, I'm gonna talk to you, and like, I'm a kind person, you know what I mean? So, but don't be getting funky with it though. You know what I mean? Cause then I might have to, you know, stomp you out. No. I already know what it is. It's the Queen Pharaoh, NEJMA NEFERTITI, and you can find me everywhere. If you just type in NEJMA NEFERTITI, whatever platform you like, there's only one. There's a lot of NEJMAs, there's a lot of Nefertitis, but there's only one NEJMA NEFERTITI, and that's me. So whatever your preferred platform is, you're gonna find me there, because I'm everywhere. So my website, go to whatever platform you like to listen to music on, YouTube. It's the same name everywhere. Yo, so it's the Queen Pharaoh, NEJMA NEFERTITI, and you see what it is. You rocking with the seasoning. If you can't stand the heat, get up out the kitchen.